And we're off. Inane Blather.
Like that dirty shirt.
Episode 69.
Nice.
The sex number. Oh,
Hey-o.
all about...
You're pooping the bed?
Yeah.
This is
Oh.
lit.
That's a sex thing? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, 69. It's like the opposite of, 96.
Oh!
Where you're going butt to back ahead. It's the
Yeah,
opposite of that. It's really
I
gross.
am familiar, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're
we've all
facing
had
each other doing
sex.
it?
But it is Inane Blather, blathering inanely. Just a couple of
Head bonk to individuals.
who
That's
love saying...
Head bonk to individuals.
I thought you were going to go with something different.
and listening, who hate saying
The N-word.
but
Yes.
you gotta do what you gotta do. No. But, listening to unresearched blather, it's like you might as well just be listening to a couple of droning.
Headstrong, stubborn, quibbling, self-centered, vindictive, obnoxious, hormonal, sexually preoccupied, evil, thieving, cross-dressing jerks.
This is absolutely lit.
That's right.
Thanks, Alex.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But I've got more stuff on the soundboard. It's just getting all cluttered up again, like how the way that I really want it, I guess. I just try. I'm scrolling through.
it.
I'm trying to find something simple. I'm like,
Come on.
but yeah, I mean, my week has been this.
I hope you get ass cancer and die, you son of a bitch.
That's pretty much, that's what the earth has been telling me.
I'll cut your throat, I'll come to your house and kill your children.
But how has your week been?
Well, it's Monday, so,
No.
it's the beginning of the week. No.
Okay. Oh.
No.
It's not Sunday, huh?
No, I went
Monday.
to Sunday is part of the weekend, and that's a hill I'll die on.
Yes.
And it's weekend. It's the end of the week. It's right in the name.
And
weekend.
I don't care
Sunday's one of them.
That,
I don't give a
and
shit
if
about
your
calendars.
calendar starts with Monday, I hate
It's
that.
really disturbing
I don't
to look
care
at.
that it still makes more sense. It doesn't matter. You get
I
the
can't
week
use it.
is couched in the middle. You've got
it's
these
like
5
nice and
days in the
protected.
middle. It's protected by these buffers of weekend days. I don't know.
I don't like to just see that the week starts on Monday. I know that. I
Yes.
feel that. Yeah.
I am old enough to realize
Yeah.
I have to, that the bank will be open again on Monday. Although
Yeah,
it wasn't
and,
today, because it is
because
Indigenous
it's
Peoples Day.
National Genocidal Maniac Day.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, here in Washington,
Bitch
it's
to for
Indigenous
Columbus.
Peoples Day, but
it
Columbus
is.
Day otherwise. And now because Indigenous Peoples Day isn't recognized, but they stopped doing the Columbus Day thing, so there's still school. Like the kids go to school. My kid went to school today, but there's no postal service or banks. I was like, well, that's weird. It's like I like it when the kids have a little 3-day weekend.
I guess I thought I'm surprised. Yeah. Speaking of the postal service, I just saw them in concert on Friday, so that's how I'm doing.
Your
I saw the
mail
postal
carriers
service.
were all up there,
Yeah.
just like free mail, blasting EDM and just throwing unopened mail into the crowd. It's
Yeah.
so cool.
Jury
Sick,
duty,
dude.
jury duty, blackmail.
This is lit.
Yeah, and Death Cab for Cutie.
Yeah, postal service, Ben Gibbard. That's so cool.
It was awesome. It was a great show.
Well,
So that's how
while
I've
you were
been
partying
really busy,
and going
yeah.
to concerts, I was seeing our
doing yard
elderly
work.
grandmother. I was, doing landscaping at a local Methodist church. No big
Meth
deal, but I had things to do. Okay.
I did yard work all day Saturday.
Oh, well, I did work on Saturday and then yard work for the church. but they pay me to do
I would
it.
never. Yeah, so it's a job. It's not for God.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm just like, wow, I'm going to have a little bit more free time on my weekends and a couple $100 less per month. So whatever. But I enjoy doing it when it isn't completely just fucking my weeks and stuff. Just a couple hours, just that window. Suddenly, it's like your weekend shot, because it's like, no, I have to do this. I'll have to be, at home. I can't just go and
beat a kid in Walmart
when I want to, even though that's
Awesome to the max.
okay. Good stuff.
Nice.
And scene.
There. Okay. But
That was good.
so I was thinking, today could be a really blatherious episode, and we will.
Unlike our other ones.
Other times it's really tightly focused. But
well researched.
I just didn't even know what we would talk about. I have so many different things written down, and we already got out before we hit record our takes on what's going on in Israel and Palestine. So
I think that solution would work, Doug. I just really think it would work.
They won't listen to me. I've written so
I
many
know.
letters. I've tried to
I
broker
know.
peace deals.
They just
I
won't
think
listen.
that whole, once they see the word nuclear, they don't go, no.
everyone gets scared with that, but no.
well, come on. This is gonna work.
Stay with me here.
Look at the paper. It's going to work.
Yeah.
You can't
This
deny
is
that.
two full pages we typed up here.
Yeah, it just says nuclear. No, they're like, is this about energy?
Yeah. Is this about from us? Which direction is this heading in?
The Constitution could suck me from the back.
But no, it's like there's important stuff going on. It's funny, after every episode that we do, there's like, oh yeah, there was that big news story. We didn't even mention it. And there's other times where it's like, we don't really want to date it too much. We have something to talk about. It's like, it's never the biggest news story.
But you know what? The Israeli-Palestinian conflict, the great thing about that is it's never dated because it's just kind of ongoing. Well, since I've been a child.
That's the issue,
you can just talk about
it seems like this is a starting point in something really bad. It's kind of, and I don't know.
No, I know.
It's
not to make light of it, obviously.
It's like, I don't know anything about geopolitics. I'm not good with that stuff. I'm not interested in becoming good with that stuff. But so I just take all this propaganda that's shoveled into my empty head, and kind of just take everything with a grain of salt to learn anything. But it sure sounds like, from media reaction from all sides, that it's kind of a little landmark moment. It's like, it's really going to start up something. Because, they've always been at conflict, which is a nice way of putting Israel has just been constantly bombing and killing these people. But, okay, we're just talking about that. But, but there are, like, wars that have been fought, over the course of the last 50 years and stuff like that. So, could be the start of another one. But what else has been going on? I did learn that the probability of successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,720 to 1. I wrote that down. I was listening to something about The Empire Strikes Back. But never tell me the odds.
What's all this 1 in a million talk?
Yeah, exactly. You're saying there's a chance. So, so you've been sliving?
Yeah.
Work's been good?
Work's been good.
Fuck your concerts. I'm wondering what your normal, boring day-to-day is like.
My girlfriend moved, she moved... she moves all... She has an RV. So she left for the winter.
It's a cool RV.
Last week. Yeah, her RV's name is Mauve. Maube. And... Didn't
need to know that. Whatever.
Now you can't unknow.
Damn it! No.
So that was kind of sad, bittersweet. Glad she's having, living her life and going to do fun things.
Snowbird?
She's like,
going somewhere warmer?
Yeah, she's down in Joshua Tree.
Cool.
And Yeah, and so that was sad. And, you know, I've thought of her several times. Obviously, just moments where it's really like, oh man, she's not here. Like, just thinking kind of absentmindedly that she's like in the backyard, like that Mauve is parked out there. And then it was like, oh, ouch. Like, yeah, she's not here. Like, playing some music and stuff. And I was just being so proud. Kelsey was like, you know, keeping time and someone playing the piano and all that kind of stuff. And just, I was like, oh, yeah, just watching them and feeling like Vanita was out in the backyard, you know, just cozy. She's not always like wanting to be in or whatever. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, yeah, she's not here.
A presence that is no longer physically there. Yeah, it is weird how that works. It's like when you lose a pet. That's what it gets me. Yeah. Especially, you know, because they're like always around or something. It's just that suddenly, like, even if it's not, you're going to go talk to this person, or because it's like if you have a pet, it's like, well, you might have conversations, but suddenly that presence, just something would be around the corner, or someone's in the backyard, or someone who was there. Because I don't want to be like, yeah, it's like someone died. But it's like, you know, it's like, I mean, it's suddenly like they're not around anymore. Yeah, they're not there. Man, what a weird just thought to have. So
realization, but
in this modern world of connectivity, I'm sure, you know, you can still keep in contact with people.
Yeah, I've talked to her every day.
Yeah.
So,
but, there's still something to be said about that physical presence when someone's living right next to you and
hug
stuff.
Her or
or just call her.
You little poopy bitch.
When you're just like, it's breakfast time.
My little poopy bitch.
Yeah, you little poopy bitch. So... let's see. So that's how it's been going for you. I ask how it's going, and you're like, it's really sad. Someone moved away. So that's great.
No, but the weather was nice this weekend. It was like 80 degrees. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Same here. Today was the last day of the nice weather here.
It rained all day today.
Now it's going to be rainy and cold and chilly, and time to start some fires and also do some firewood in my house. But mostly I'm just looking forward to starting fires.
Yeah, police stations. Orphanages. Wait,
mostly
what?
Police stations, banks.
Yeah.
Israel.
I like that.
No. Oh, yeah, that's right. We're not going to talk about that.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, the West Bank, Key Bank, U.S. Bank. Like, wait a minute. What was that other one? I said Bank of the West. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's one of those.
Keep an eye on this one. Yeah.
So, let's see. I had a couple of little threads on here. This one's about Ron DeSantis expanding the state school voucher program. I don't know about that.
Okay, sounds like I'd have to know something.
Here's something. No. Okay. It's hard to know where to land on this because education is so important, right? And we both. Oh man, it cut out. I didn't see what you said, but
I said boo.
Oh, okay. Anyway, yeah, because education is so important.
Boring.
But no, but also so is the working class taking advantage of anything you can possibly get out of the government or business or anything. But it's like so many. I'm sure, like any program that some shit yahoo, whatever new word we want to make up for Ron D's Nuts DeSantis, works into law.
Wait, have you heard that Ron DeSantis wears like really tall lifts in his shoes?
Yes.
I just learned that the other day, and then I saw some like high heels, and then I saw a picture. I was like, "Is this just like like conspiracy, whatever?" But then it was like, huh, interesting. He like straight up like the way that it looks like his foot is angled down in his boots that he always
he's wearing
wears.
Like 3-inch heels.
Really, 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 really funny. I think that's really funny.
God.
Ron DeSantis. It's Rhonda Santis.
Yeah.
Not that men can't wear heels, but let me have this joke, okay?
No, yeah, it's about the hypocrisy. No, the worst part is the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Like a McDonald's joke. Yeah, Bill Cosby. Gosh, the worst thing was the hypocrisy. I don't think that was the worst thing. It's probably all the raping. No, but so
Anyways, school vouchers.
yeah, so this little piece of
high-heeled,
shit, this
fancy
little high-heeled
bitch.
yeah, weirdo alien lip-licking nerf-hurting bitch, Ron DeSantis.
Not charismatic, not charisma having.
Fucking weird. He's not even charismatic enough to be called a robot. He's just uncanny. Just a fucking weirdo. But people of Florida love him, I guess. So he signed a massive expansion of the state's school voucher program. Oh, I was going to say, like so many things that an idiot like this would introduce into law, or a state like Florida, it's just going to be lose-lose. Like, if you're taking advantage of the school voucher program and, you know, getting the bag and not using it to properly educate your children, everyone loses. Like, I think that these thousands of dollars in school vouchers and this bullshit about school choice that's just used to, like, enrich private schools that don't have better outcomes than public schools, all that, it's trash. But if that's gonna be the system in place, all I want in the end is for kids to be educated. And Florida is like the last place where that's happening nowadays. It sure seems like. But so he signed a massive expansion of the state school voucher program, including $8,000 vouchers for thousands of homeschoolers. So it's like
I knew that's what it was going to
yes.
be about.
Now, parents are exploiting the program using taxpayer dollars for Disney World passes, PS5s, and 55-inch TVs. And one exchange posted in a private Facebook group last month. This was in September. I took this link down. They passed the expansion back in March. But a parent inquires about getting passes to Disney World approved through the program. Another parent responds that she was able to get passes for Disney World and Universal Studios paid for with taxpayer funds. See, this is where it's like this whole lose-lose thing where I'm just like, oh my, you have to frame it all. Who's using taxpayer money to do this stuff? It's like parents receiving taxpayer money for things to do with their children. I'm for it. Whatever. But
sure.
It's like, but then it's like, yeah, they are. I don't care that it's taxpayer funds. I care that it's funds that are for something other than going to fucking Universal Studios. And like, you can see there's screenshots of like, of course it's Facebook. But did you try the Disney passes again? Yeah, mine just got approved, and Universal was the reply, and all these likes and hearts on it and stuff. It says previously, okay, you're really going to love this, Natalie. Previously, the voucher program was restricted mostly to low-income families. The cash could only be used for private school tuition or transportation to a public school. Now, homeschoolers are getting $8,000 vouchers for any approved, quote, educational expense. So, Florida has delegated the administration of the vouchers to two private nonprofit organizations called Step Up for Students and one AAA, I guess. It's got to stand for something other than the Automobile Club. But these nonprofits generate revenue based on how many students they can attract. So they are incentivized to approve everything. God, this is so... like, just what a fucking clusterfuck. Like, sometimes it's just like, what do you think's gonna happen? Every link in the chain is some greasy, like, even you could say people working for these nonprofits. I'm not saying that they're bad or anything, but every point is within the greasy capitalist system. This is education. All right? We don't need, like, bureaucracy that's handling money through all this. This is our problem. It's just neoliberal horse shit, right? And, of course, not only is money being wasted, these kids aren't getting the education they need. And who's getting the money in the end? Fucking Disney. Or Samsung or Sony because they're buying PlayStations. Like these huge companies, it's just just more wealth transfer. Like, how much of the $8,000 do you think gets spent on Amazon, even for parents that like aren't taking their kid to Disney World with it? Like, and it's just passing through the non-governmental entity, this so-called non-profit,
if it can't so be called.
I'm sure it is a non-profit, even if it's totally by the books, but it's like, why isn't it just, this is money collected from the taxpayers that the government should use to educate children? Why are these all of these steps in between under the guise of parental freedom, of independence and stuff?
What the fuck do I care about what parents think about education, kind of? Like, so many people...
It's like, so are you a teacher or not? Like,
that's what I mean. Like, what do you know? What do you know about any of this stuff? Like, it's like this entire generation or whatever it is. It's like, I feel like it's more like baby boomers causing this fuss or whatever, obviously. But it's like they're like resentful, like, of education.
Yeah.
That we're like, younger generations are just like way more knowledgeable, like, broadly than they could have ever possibly been because they grew up without the internet. It's just true.
Yeah.
Don't give me that bullshit that you guys could know the same amount that we do. There's just so much more, and that's how it should be, you stupid fucking moron. That's how it works. Knowledge is like it's like a foundation, and you just keep building and building and building on top of it. Like, that's how it's supposed to work. Every generation like knows more than the generation before them, and like you're supposed to like build and like be like glad for people to be learning, and the place, like, the world becomes a better place because of it, because people are like
still building up.
Yes,
but the problem is, and now because those people with whatever generational resentments are built in and stuff, not just baby boomers, but Gen X, these fucking know-it-alls in a bad way, these Dunnings and Krugers walking around thinking they know how to educate the masses, start having that bad effect, because now young Zoomers and Gen Alpha are not learning enough. Like, the education system is getting so bad, and when COVID set everyone back, people are not catching up. Kids are not doing well. That's
it's in their formative years too. It's like the time when they're supposed to be learning from people who know how to teach and know the material. Like, just let them learn. I don't get when this... Oh my god, it's so...
Yeah, because the solution like, now is like, I don't know, the politicization, in a way. I mean, that's just such a vague, stupid way of putting it, but this is Inane Blather,
That's the way we do things around here.
I need to see a dick.
That's our
motto.
Theme song. That's a song, but
that's our creed.
And our motto is,
this is politics.
So,
I need to see a dick.
This is politics.
There's a colon in between that.
That's our mission and our vision statement.
But God, I love just messing with the soundboard so I forget what I'm saying. But it's like, so the reaction to problems like systemic issues in our education system, or like catastrophes of education, like because of COVID and stuff, or even just these issues. I mean, no matter how stupid the people on the other side of the culture war are, it doesn't change the fact that, LGBT issues are, this is a problem, like, that people have with education. The fact that all these psychos think that kids are being groomed or whatever, the fact that they think that is a problem, right? Anything like this, like, so, but the reaction that is like undergirded and supported by these weird American ideals of independence and you don't tell me what to do, the solution is, well, your kid's going to a different school, or, well, time to be homeschooled. It's like you're going backwards. Everyone's going backwards to try to solve problems that aren't there and just making more problems, and all of these kids suffer with their education. And now we've got, then you've got kids being pulled out of schools. You've got underfunded schools that don't do well, so then they get less funding. And then, and then you just have swaths of kids all across the country that are getting into high school and they can't read above a 5th grade level. And that's happening. And it's like, this should, and then there, you know that this is happening. And then one of the solutions in some bumfuck corner of the country, Florida, is handing out $8,000 a piece to people who wanted to pull their kids out of school because they want to homeschool them because they read too much fucking bullshit on Facebook. It's like, what a waste. What a waste of resources. Like, Jesus Christ. It's embarrassing.
These people who want to homeschool their kids that graduated high school with like a 2.1 GPA, and they want to like homeschool their kids. I'm not saying that grades and blah blah.
No,
whatever.
I know what you're saying.
All that kind of. I know, and I hope anyone who listens to this knows what I'm saying. I don't think that you're dumb if you don't get good grades. Of course,
and if you are dumb, it's not your fault. This is a whole problem.
I don't think people are dumb. I think people are just not maybe taught always in the right way. I think everybody is smart. Everyone has a human brain. He had a benzo addiction that put him into a coma.
There are reasons people can be dumb, all right? So,
but yeah, it's just really interesting to think that people think that they can do that. And what do people think about teachers really? Like, what do they think that they had teachers. They went to school. We all went to school, and we all had teachers, and they taught us math and taught us how to read and taught us history. And you can have all these criticisms and stuff, but they were out there doing this work. Not much has changed, I feel like, except for the inclusion of a wider expanse of oppressed people in the United States. Maybe if people talk about LGBTQ rights or anything like that.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah. To me, all of this just seems like all these reactions. It's like, okay, Rhonda, so you think that this is the way forward. This is how you think that society should look. In your dream utopia, this is how children are educated, is that parents are handed some cash and said, do whatever you want with this,
because this is
that's
America,
how we build.
And you should be free
that's how we build
to own
a
your
smarter
children
society.
You want.
That's how we get to the moon and stuff. That's how we cure cancer, is by parents teaching their children.
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck? You're in Florida.
Oh my God.
You're not just giving up on higher education because your kid's gonna take over the fucking family farm. You live in an Orlando suburb, you idiot. And you know
I was
what?
a pretty good student and stuff. I'd be a fucking terrible homeschool teacher. I got good grades. I feel like I'm a smart person and all that kind of stuff. Being a teacher,
I've been a teacher, and I'd be a bad teacher.
Yeah.
And I'm a parent.
It just seems like there's already this system. The school system could use work, but I don't think taking funding away from the schools is what's going to do. Reimagining how we do things, giving teachers the resources they need to do their job, because we all know, I feel like it's common knowledge that good teachers are they're very, very, very special.
Yes.
We remember their names our entire lives, and they really teach you.
Important.
You learn something from them,
They
fundamentally,
change lives.
Yes, absolutely. 1000%. And they're dedicated to it because they give a shit about children. That's what they're out here doing. They don't do it for the money, for sure. You can make good money being a teacher, kind of, if you're in the right area.
Yeah.
Some of these other areas, people are...
a while, and that means that you've been teaching for a long time. And why would you do that if you didn't like teaching children?
Hard job.
Yes.
It would be such a fucking hard job. It is a hard job. I just don't really get where
can you imagine
all
trying
the arrogance
to teach
of all these...
a classroom of 20 kids anything? What a nightmare.
No. Imagine if they were like 13. 13-year-olds? I've been 13, so I get it.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. I was a fantastic
The-
student. When I was 13, I was a piece of shit.
I just feel like the arrogance of all of this is just so weird. Like that people, and really gambling with children's lives.
Yeah.
Honestly, formative years, like what you're learning, the peak of your brain's like ability to learn is being wasted by these people who literally just watch too much Fox News and are now gonna feed their kids PragerU videos and get paid $8,000 to do it. Like, it's disgusting, and it's really like, guys, like.
And even
Also, those voucher programs, it's so fucking stupid, because all of these kids, I feel like every single child deserves the same chance. And you know what we could do as a society is they could all be really, really, really well educated. Kids nowadays, with all the money we got flowing around in the United States, we could have every single child.
This voucher program that's being literally wasted. It's like you have money.
Oh my God.
Imagine, I mean, so do all these kids in public schools at $8,000 per student per semester or year or whatever this is rolled into that, like, it's
a chicken organic?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I was homeschooled, so I don't even know what that means. I don't know what a chicken is.
I can't read this menu.
Yeah. But so, and even like taking a step back at like not just like the details of like a program like this, but it's funny trying to be out of everything's politics, but any political issue like education should just be about pragmatic solutions. Like, things can be more simple than this, and taking a step back and looking at these so you look at conservative like experiments in education, they fail every time look at Kansas. Because they're only worried about money.
Look at Kansas.
Yeah, just look at look at it, most of the kids in Kansas schools don't even know that Kansas is shaped like a rectangle. No. But, they're like, what is that, a circle? Yeah, that's what they're all like when they're 25. No,
every single
person on this planet is gay. But no, but like you start worrying about like costs like this. I mean, even looking at this as a waste of taxpayer funds isn't the right perspective either. That's just a good way to get it across to someone, because it's like, look at Kansas. They're just worried about the money. So because they weren't getting enough taxes when they cut, I mean, this was, 10 or 15 years ago. They're like, this is going to be the place for business, blah, 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 and they cut corporate taxes to zero.
Everyone's going to want to move to Kansas.
Cut corporate taxes to zero. They ended up not having enough taxpayer money to keep their schools open, and instead of figuring that out and figuring out what to do with the money, they had to take austerity measures, which included only being able to keep public schools open 4 days a week. It was just, I mean, and then those kids, like you're saying, just lose those years. And it's because you're just looking at this fucking liberal economics crap and applying it to the schools and just like wasting this taxpayer money. Either way, like, instead of just going with pragmatic solutions that, I mean, really, if you want to break it down, it's all going to be kind of left of center economics, because it's not, it should just have nothing to do with supply and demand and what your tax rates are doing. It's like, no, just fund education and just do it. All the metrics you're looking at are our children being educated. That's it. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. It's so infuriating.
I want to see, it's like, I want the worst performing school in America to like perform against like some other schools all across the world and see just how far behind we really fall. Like it's like we have some good schools here in America, of course, but
and we should.
Like, there
We're
is
the richest country in the world.
Discrepancy between the best and the worst schools,
Yeah.
and I have always felt like that. For so long, I have been like, what the fuck with the funding of our school systems? It should be federal at the federal level.
Yeah.
It should not matter where you're born. The example I give is like where I used to live, where you live, you know, it's like 10 minutes from one of like the best schools or like 20, whatever. One of the best schools, definitely like on this side of the state, like high schools, you know, that school district. Kids go to like Yale from that school district. Like it's really top performing sports programs, you know, music programs, like really a lot of all these like advanced classes that you can take legitimately like Ivy Leaguers. Start there. You digging for gold there? Hey.
No, I'm just being a product of our public school system.
Yeah. And it just seems really unfair because it is. And people say, well, whoever said that life was fair, you know, and that's another thing. Exactly. Yeah. I really hate that because it's like, yeah, all these things that are unfair are not like the things we're complaining about are not fair. Like.
Do you want it to be unfair?
Naturally occurring either. It's like I don't think of an earthquake as unfair or like a hurricane. It's like those things happen and they're tragedies and stuff. What's unfair is a child getting a shittier education because they were born
in a different zip
2
code.
Minutes from a county line or whatever. It's like that's unfair. And you know what? Those lines, those are arbitrary. We actually made those up. They're not naturally existing laws of physics that we can't break. You know, those are things that we decided to do. So that means like we could change them. So I think obviously the United States, people in the rural backwoods of West Virginia and like the really, really poor, incredibly poor neighborhoods in some of these major American cities should be getting the exact same education as the best fucking private schools.
Yeah.
I am anti-private school. I'm I think that children are children, and I don't give a
private
fuck
schools shouldn't exist.
how hard their parents,
Doesn't make
how
any
hard
sense
your
to
parents
me.
worked. I don't give a shit because you know what? When your baby is born and someone else's baby is born, they are the same. These are human beings.
Yes.
These are perfect little babies. You couldn't tell me. You could hold someone else's baby and tell that baby's parent that their child deserves less than your child. This perfect little human being full of all the promise that there ever is less deserving because their parents have less money than you do, or because they
even
live
if their parents are complete pieces of shit, that baby deserves to
no sins of the father here. You know,
yeah,
absolutely.
And it's like, I mean, it all just comes down to the fact that hey, we have the ability to educate all the children in America, you know, well enough. All right. So why don't we do it?
Better than a lot of them get now.
Yeah. It's like, imagine if there were no private schools. It's like, so that all of that was just back in the public school system. How much better all the schools would be.
Again, remember what we're talking about here. We're talking kids. We're talking
They didn't ask
children.
to be born.
They didn't ask to be born. They're looking for role models. They're looking for ways to live their lives. Their brains are like little sponges, like so ready to grab onto anything and learn it and blah, 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 blah. They look at you with these beautiful eyes full of just like all this like hope and optimism. And they're like everything. Like, again, it's like, look at these. These are kids. They're like everything we love about humans is right here, this really beautiful picture of it. So like, let's fucking take care of them.
A story like this, going back to Rhonda, is like such a lose all the
From
way
a
around.
loser.
Because it's like, okay, it's one thing if hey, some poor family is somehow defrauding the government out of more EBT funds. I do not care.
I don't
because
care
that is spent on food
all.
for themselves and children, whatever. You know, as long as you're not selling your food stamps for drug money I mean, whatever. You
Even
can
then,
do that,
you know what?
but don't
You're-
defraud the government for more of that. You get your drug money
You're
elsewhere.
a drug
Yeah.
addict. I already feel bad
Yeah,
for
exactly.
you, so I don't
That's
really
why
care because
I
you know
want
what?
you to
There's
have
plenty of
universal
money to
health
waste.
care so you can get better.
Yeah,
But no, I'm saying like
poor
in
thing.
general. But it's like this: you're just milking the government money that is going to education, and you're using it to educate your child less. Like, so.
And that's your
In another-
fucking child. God, shows how much you care. That's what parents do. When parents have choice, they spend it on Disneyland and TVs. Yeah, parents always know what's best for their kids.
Here's
God.
one in a private Facebook message obtained by Popular Information. A parent says their PS3, quote, isn't doing great. She asked whether she will be reimbursed for a $500 PS5 bundle that includes God of War, even though the game is not age appropriate for her 5-year-old daughter. So you're homeschooling your kindergartner, and with this money, you're wondering if you're going to get reimbursed for your God of War PS5 bundle? Dude, come on.
That's why parents need more of a voice in this fight, Doug. They have good ideas, you know? They're just desensitizing their children to violence very early on so they can join the military.
I'm not getting into blaming video games
I'm
for this stuff.
totally just kidding.
Yeah, God of
obviously,
War
but
is not.
it is-
It's not Call of Duty. I know you're not a big gamer person. God of War is like mythology
I don't
shit.
really
It's
care.
really fun.
and
but no, it's not for a 5-year-old.
Anyways, yeah.
Let's see.
It just shows how much parents like legit don't fucking know anything about education, because it's like, you know why they give that money is for resources like books, and like maybe you could take them to a trip to like a museum. Maybe you could even hire like a second language tutor like part-time with that money. Like you could use that because those things like cost. Those like things have like markers and like all these like testing materials and stuff like that. All these things, like there's like a cost to like having resources to teach.
Yeah.
You know, you don't just like scroll Wikipedia. You know, that's not what teachers do.
Well,
they like teach.
I mean, if they're homeschooling
children.
their kids $8,000,
Well, they're like scroll Wikipedia while they play God of War.
so
They're like, I'm 5, I can't read.
Florida K through 12 teachers were paid an average of $51,230 during the 2021 to 22 academic year. So they make the amount of money that I do. It's not great. And that's the average.
Not to be a teacher.
I mean, because
Yeah.
you do have a few tenured teachers. I mean, that's just the way it works with the union. You know,
Sure.
You're there for a long time. You've collected all those benefits. You've kept your job. You're making over $100,000 a year. That happens every once in a while. I think.
Should be starting.
I know. I was going to say. I think every
$100,000
teacher
a year
should make
to have
$100,000 a
25
year.
kids?
But which ranked 48th in the nation. The national average is 66,000. Many Florida teachers spend their own money on necessary classroom supplies. This platform and its algorithm. Ooh, algorithm spelled incorrectly in this tweet. Scratch that. We're starting a new episode. Are controlled by a DeSantis supporting billionaire who uses it to promote his
Nice.
right-wing views.
You love to see it.
Oh, someone. And then first response by some blue check dingbat. Oh, your receipts are comments in a Facebook group. Someone's like, what, is he supposed to steal the actual receipts from the parents? You think this just isn't happening or something? Even if
Do you think
even if
people are
it's
just
not going
joking in that?
through, they're trying to do this. Like, this person's asking for legit, like, advice. Like, real question, when do we think the caps are coming back per section? They know all this stuff about how this gets funded. Because even if they were spending all this time properly educating their children, using this program, being reimbursed through the school vouchers to homeschool their kid, imagine how much of that time is spent, like, just administrative costs and scheduling how you're going to fund yourself doing this and yada yada, and use 8,000. You're putting, you're keeping track of your taxes. You're doing the accounting for it, like, so they know all this stuff. It's like, if so, when do we think? And let's see. And will it really be only $400 for Legos again? I really need an iPad and a laptop. First funding. She has an online class they started. The iPad writing is the best for sharing work and math, and we have 2 vacation weeks in September. Both she would miss classes without a laptop. Okay, so she needs an iPad and a laptop for her schoolwork.
Okay,
However, I also want an $800 Lego set for my kid for Christmas. And though I could wait for the second funding for Legos, if the caps are reset to the summer levels, I need the Legos first. And if the Legos are only $400, this won't be covered at all. It's like...
I need the Legos first before the laptop for my daughter's schoolwork? Yeah, cool. Parents' choice.
I mean, you could get a lot worse for your kids than Lego, but like a God of War PS5 bundle.
As a Christmas present, though.
But
She's
it's
just
like,
saying
yeah, it's literally a Christmas
present.
present. Like, what the fuck? So, yeah. Oh, boy. I wonder if there are any good
But you know what?
replies to
The
this.
benefit of that is they're not going to say anything about gay people if they homeschool them, besides that they're disgusting perverts who are going to rape you
Good
or
old
whatever they
Twitter.
say.
It's just a response from someone named Politics Guy. And the reply is, if this is true, the optics are bad for DeSantis.
Oh, he's so eager. Earnest, yeah.
This has to be satire. It might not be, actually. Oh, yeah, Republican, former campaign manager, and 25-plus year political observer. Wow, you're just that...
Yeah, he's just
that stupid.
earnest moron.
Wow. Are you sure that the optics are bad if this defrauding of a government program is true? Oh, boy.
Yeah, great insight, politics guy.
Yeah, hey, he's a former campaign manager.
Yeah, that name don't lie.
So what?
He knows his stuff.
So what else we got here? Oh, let's see. I forgot that I also included a link to an account that I follow called Crazy Ass Moments in American Politics. They have their pinned tweet of when Biden called that guy fat and challenged him to a push-up contest.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You're fat, Jack.
FOIA request uncovered these photos of President Barack Obama laughing at a meme of himself the day after Osama bin Laden was killed. He has a meme printed off, and he's sitting there in the White House looking at it. How stupid is that? Oh, yeah, so these big things that
that's so
happen that we
funny.
just don't talk about. I wish that I just did a rundown so we just wouldn't talk about it, but just mention it. We'd be like, that was crazy, huh? We'd be like real politics guy.
Do it.
That former
Yeah.
campaign manager, like, wow,
Yeah.
that
Like,
really is something.
Optics are bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that being removed as Speaker of the House is a good thing for Kevin McCarthy. That would be his. That's a
Yeah.
real politics corner.
Yeah. If Kevin McCarthy really is getting
What if-
removed, this probably won't be good for his career.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the joke.
That doesn't really work there, but yeah, how nuts is that? That's hilarious. See,
And I like to
that's the
spin on
thing,
it that it's all the
man,
Democrats' fault.
that this whole Hamas thing, isn't it funny that it comes out right after Kevin McCarthy gets removed? Think about it. Think about it, people. That's my Trump impression. It's really good.
That's pretty-
No, but
I knew who
the
you were talking
N-word.
about because I could see the hand.
yeah,
the
because
hand
you can see the
motions.
hands. Yeah,
And the
No,
squinting. Yeah.
but yeah, geez, the Speaker of the House getting removed. It's just so funny that that anyone on the Republican side, or just at least that Kevin McCarthy, might be the only one on the Republican side that thought, well, you know, there'll be some Democrat. It's not like all the Democrats are going to vote to take him out. It's like, fuck you. It's
Why
like,
wouldn't they?
If they have,
Yeah.
I mean, often the Democrats have no backbone, but having the bare minimum backbone politically would say, yeah, we get the opportunity to vote out the Republican Speaker of the House and throw the entire party into turmoil in Congress. We do it.
Especially you guys started.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're starting
Matt
it.
Gates gave us the
You
opportunity.
didn't give us any reason to
So-
be on your side at all for this entire year, let alone even if it was last minute.
And
hey, make sure you keep me in. I'll work some deals with you guys. We'll try to figure something out with the debt ceiling coming
us
up.
bloodthirsty pedophiles.
Yeah,
or whatever.
it's like, no, you're a bunch of pedophile groomers, and I think that all the Democrats should be run off a cliff in a flaming truck. It's like, all right, well.
Also, like, the Democrats couldn't do that alone. You had to have Republican votes, right? The Democrats couldn't just vote for it because it's like,
right? I think
so.
But
yeah,
they were banking on the fact that at least some Democrats would be so milquetoast, like they often are, that they would be thinking so much more of decorum and history and all that bullshit where it's like, well, we still have to try. We still have to try to reach across the aisle.
Muffy.
This is blah, 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 blah. And they're like, no,
in
fuck
Connecticut,
you, man.
we don't do things
Kevin
like this.
McCarthy, kiss my dick. Like, get out of here. And now
he wishes.
And I mean, it would just be so funny if, I mean, immediately everyone's talking about Trump being Speaker of the House. And supposedly, I think he mentioned that he would be open to it on a temporary basis, which would just be him talking shit. But it would just be so funny because he would hate it so much.
It'd be so boring for him.
Like, he would just, I just imagine, he's like, I can't believe there's all this work to do. There'd be like stacks of papers on his desk. And he's like,
I thought I was just going to pound a gavel.
And he's like, yeah. Like that one guy who pounded the gavel really hard.
That made me laugh so hard. He like smacked it so incredibly, like petulantly. It was so funny.
You can tell that
so
that man.
Funny.
I mean, shout out to all of our short kings, but you can tell that that man is very short and thinks
That's
about
a little
it
guy energy.
every day.
Oh yeah, he's a guy who's not come to terms with himself.
And he's 50 years
and
old,
he's got a bow tie.
and he never will come to terms with it. Hassan was saying that guy who slammed the gavel really hard, like he literally stands on like a milk crate at his events and stuff like that. Yeah. He is a little guy.
He's a supporter of Kevin McCarthy. That's why he was so mad, and that's why I don't care about making fun of him for being short.
Wow.
Also, he wears a bow tie.
Here we go. So here's some good internet-based American politics moment. The National Republican Congressional Committee posts an attempt at a 4chan green text. You know, you get like the meme where it's just green text. You've seen them on the internet. It's just a format.
I don't like those.
But, yeah, where it's like they posted this thing, POV, you're Jamal Bowman. Oh, and it's just talking shit about him pulling the fire alarm. Another crazy thing that happened. But, and it turns out that he's legit just like was that dumb and thought that it would open the door.
So it was a light switch or something? Yeah.
No, it was like
or whatever.
He thought like it was an alarmed door, but you'd have to pull that so that you could walk out without turning off the alarm. So he just pulled the alarm, and then he still couldn't get out the door or something, and like had to run the other way.
Yeah.
But
I remember seeing it was something like a switch, or I thought it was like a switch for something. Yeah. Like just a mistake.
So then the NRCC posts this bad attempt at comedy, and it's supposed to look like it's from 4chan, you know? Mm-hmm. And AOC quote tweeted him and said, "This is the meme format you use when you definitely have a girlfriend. She just goes to another school." Do we need snark? That's all we need is just some more snark.
Need a little bit.
The Democrats are so unsnarkulous. What is with these snarkless? They're so snarkless.
Feckless, spineless.
Yes, exactly. The 3 S's. Snarkless, feckless, and spineless.
Yeah, I just find it interesting that these guys are also the ones, like, especially the Republicans, where it's like, well, nobody wants to work anymore. People are lazy, blah, 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 blah. Go out there and do your job, even though there's COVID. We'll have to die. Who cares? You know, everyone's going to die anyway. So just go out there and do your job, do your job, do your job. And then they go to recess so they go to recess for one thing. Nice. Must be fucking nice, guys. Yeah. But for another thing, they go without
I bet they get more than
having
15
a new speaker.
minutes, too. gosh.
Like, you guys can't, like, maybe work a little fucking overtime to make sure that our government stays open or whatever? Or, like, you're just gonna, like, let this be in chaos and it's just, like, no big deal because you guys have your jobs for a while and whatever. It's like, you guys are just, like, you could just create chaos and then just walk away from it because it's these rules
Even
or
if
whatever,
they
and you just get to, like,
didn't get
not
paid
do
for
your
their
jobs and, like,
because the government shut
not be
down.
good at your
They have a
jobs.
bunch of money already. Like, everyone in Congress.
oh yeah, because they make a bunch of money.
Yeah, it's a
And,
bunch of fucking lawyers
they-
and businessmen and also just shady dealers of fraud and insider trading. Like,
That's true. Yeah. So
probably
they're
a
just
bunch
like
of
so
fucking
in-
landlords too.
They're just like you know, like they just like don't really do anything. Like have they don't really do much at all at work. Like, and then they want to talk about like how Americans need to get back to work and how we work, whatever. They're always talking about that. And like, but what do they do? Like they just sit around and just talk about whatever, like,
You know, over half
what do they actually do?
the median net worth of a member of Congress is around $1 million.
Nice.
Let's see. These figures offer only an estimation, yada, yada, yada. Okay, here's the salaries. Rick Scott from Florida has a net worth of $260 million.
$14.
Even let's go down to number 10. Oh, funny. I was like, let's just scroll down to number 10, see what that is.
Nancy
Yes,
Pelosi.
it's Nancy Pelosi.
Nice.
She's worth about $114 million. Oh, Dianne Feinstein. They need to update this because that bitch is dead.
She's not worth anything anymore.
She's worth her weight in ash. Let's go to number 20. Steve Daines.
Yeah, last time I
from
saw
Montana.
Dianne
Some guy that
Feinstein.
no one's ever fucking heard of, but he's a Republican representative from Montana. No, he's a senator. I don't even know who this guy is. And he's worth...
He's a senator from Montana. Nobody does.
I don't have these sorted by net worth. I have, where is it? Because it says that he's worth $32 million. Net worth. Here we go. Number 10. No,
He's number
it is.
20?
I don't know what happened here. I don't know why that's kind of...
Who's the poorest motherfucker in the Senate?
Well, I've just got the top 50, and this is based on 2018 information. That's why...
Well, that's the Senate. Oh, there's 100.
Yeah. plus this is all Congress because Nancy Pelosi was in there.
Right.
Let's see.
That's right.
But
I
number
forgot.
50, Lisa Blunt Rochester, a Democrat from Delaware, 10.7 million. And this is just, I mean, this is,
$10
I was gonna say, this is
million?
just on a table in Wikipedia, but it is from Open Secrets, which is pretty on point usually, as far as I know. They have a good, what was there was a proposed bill from Elizabeth Warren, Pramila Jayapal, and Brendan Boyle. The Ultra Millionaire Tax Act of 2021. See, stuff like this, I remember it being mentioned. There's like proposals, this and that, stuff that doesn't get... Why isn't this something that's like they're just talking about all the time? I mean, this is a rhetorical question because you know why they're not. Because what media outlet wants to talk about
Yeah.
taxing the millionaires more, and what legislators want to. They only pay lip service to it. I mean, it's hard for me to even truly believe in like Elizabeth Warren, and she like has made the last 5 years of her career on this, you know. But
She created the Consumer Protection Bureau or whatever.
Oh yeah, the CFPB.
Consumer Finance Protection?
Financial Protection
Or something like
Bureau,
that?
The Ultra Millionaire Tax Act of 2021 is a proposed bill in the United States Congress which would impose a tax on the wealth of the top 0.05% of Americans.
Oh, no!
Any household or trust with any net worth between $50 million to $1 billion will be taxed 2% of their net worth annually, and any household or trust surpassing $1 billion would have a surtax of 1% for 3% in total. Senator Warren expected the bill to raise $3 trillion in revenue over the next 10 years. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's look at the criticism. Although the proposal has gained support, this is from 2 years ago. None of this has been updated. It also faces criticism. This includes implementation problems as well as economic arguments and bad historic experience. A wealth tax could be unconstitutional. Oh my God, where is it?
The Constitution has sucked me from the back.
Article 1 bars any capitation or other direct tax. In 1895, the Supreme Court ruled that a federal income tax was therefore unconstitutional. Well, a lot of good that did. The 16th Amendment made income tax constitutional, but it did not cover a wealth tax. Oh, well, that's easy. Let's just amend the Constitution.
Like we just are talking about those two. That's the thing too. It's like the Constitution's written in stone. Do you guys know what the word amendment?
Well, I'm just joking because,
means?
like, can you imagine?
No.
Can you imagine
because
this
we do have
fucking
income taxes,
uniparty full of unitards? That's a piece of clothing.
Everyone's just wearing.
If
like
only
they're working in the circus.
Yeah, they're just beclowning our institutions.
Nice.
Oh, geez, we're at an hour. I'm sorry. So let's finish up. Let's see. Oh,
how does Tim Scott have so much money? $150 million or
it's
whatever.
probably some healthcare company bullshit. Yeah, let's look. Tim Scott.
I think he got it from his.
Oh, he's a
generational wealth from that
okay.
alien family of his.
No, that's Rick Scott.
He's part of
Tim Scott is an African American man who is running for president on the Republican ticket.
I was thinking Rick Scott from Florida.
Yes, he is a fucking
That's who I was thinking.
No, Tim Scott's from South Carolina.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Let's see.
Wow, how does he have?
Yeah, let's take a look here. He worked in financial services before serving on the Charleston City Council. Nikki Haley appointed him to the U.S. Senate. Into the blah, 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 blah. What the fuck? I mean, there's not early life and education. Was this just way off? What? Maybe he was only worth $250. Wow. Let's see. A month before his senior year, he fell asleep while driving, resulting in a car accident that dimmed his prospects as a football recruit.
Oh, no.
He started an insurance agency. His professional accomplishments enabled him to purchase a home for his mother. And that's from Politico's article, 55 Things You Need to Know About Tim Scott. I need to know about Tim Scott, and I need to know at least 50 things about him. Yeah, the senator from South Carolina has a personal story that confounds easy political categories. Let me just Google. Why is Tim Scott
Rick
rich?
Scott's net worth.
Oh, maybe that's what I just read it wrong.
Because it's Rick Scott has an estimated net worth of $259 million
Okay.
in 2018.
Did I just
good.
get, Yeah, I just got mixed up here.
They,
right here, Rick
they
Scott.
look a lot alike.
And then Mark Warner, that fucking guy from Virginia, who's worth $214 million.
Because they have a bunch of like real estate
but I was like
investments,
reading about
securities and investments.
I need to know about Tim Scott.
Yeah. There are 55 things about Tim Scott. Who?
Greg
Rick?
Gianforte.
Oh, Tim. Yeah.
Remember him? That's that, let's see. Isn't he the guy that punched a reporter in the face? Yes. He body slammed that reporter, that Montana Republican. Greg Gianforte. And he ended up, he got fined, he got sentenced to community service, and he got reelected.
Nice. Not a lot of options over there in Montana.
And then he ran for governor. Yeah, that's what happened. But he was worth like $180 million. What the fuck, dude?
Oh, I just want to read this thing about
body
Rick Scott.
slammed a reporter. He doesn't give a shit.
Rick Scott. This is from 2022. There's just an article about Rick Scott calling Joe Biden a rich kid. His whole life has been paid for by your tax dollars. He has no idea how to deal with inflation or whatever. It said Senator Scott's criticism / description of President Biden is, well, rich, coming from a man who is the nation's wealthiest senator. And then in parentheses, much of that wealth generated by a company convicted of stealing $1.5 billion from the government while he was in charge. Not just charged, convicted of stealing.
Jesus Christ.
So, yeah. Joe Biden is worth like $9 million. But
out of all the people,
yeah.
I mean, all these people have more money than they should. Although a guy like Joe Biden only having $9 million when he's been in American politics for that long it's like, is he that good of a guy? He can't be that good of a guy. He must be an idiot. No, but no, it's like he was that guy. He was the working class guy from Scranton who rode the fucking Amtrak to DC all the time. Like, are you serious? You're going to attack him? Morons.
He's a train guy.
Oh my God. Yeah, Rick Scott. Right off the bat. That's why I was thinking, I was like, it was some medical thing or something. Yeah. Because I think R.M. Brown has talked about exactly that. But he co-founded Columbia Hospital Corporation. And then merged with another corporation to form Columbia HCA, which eventually became the nation's largest for-profit healthcare company.
Nice.
Fucking
nice.
Disgusting. Rick Scott.
It's the American dream.
Sit down, because I'm going to strap you into this chair and attach some jumper cables to your weird alien nuts, you freak.
He doesn't have nuts. I just don't. These are the people that are in charge of caring about us, by the way.
These are the people that are somehow involved in the passing of legislation and regulations and policies that lead to $8,000 being placed in the hands of a rabid Fox News asshole so that they can de-educate their own child.
Yeah, so I think they've got a pretty good plan going, I'd say, for the future. I feel like we're in good hands, is all I'll say. Those scaly reptilian Rick Scott hands.
somehow cold yet burning hands.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. You know, I've never been into conspiracy theories, but that one about reptile
his
people.
His official portrait is psychotic.
I know.
He looks so
that
weird.
Shows how he has no friends. No one's going to tell him, take a different picture.
Are you sure you want this as your official portrait? I mean, this is what goes on.
This is
stuff.
what people will see.
He's like, that's the best smile I've had in 42 years. Ooh. He's like, I just wanted to update. Yeah.
He like licks his eye.
From behind. Yeah. You just see his eye darken really quick.
Yeah. What's that?
Okay. Anyway. Yeah, I got distracted on Wikipedia there when, I don't know.
As we are wont to do. Well, you've wasted another perfectly good hour of your life listening
to Cock Talk on NPR.
Yeah. Don't drive like my brother.
So this is see, and even if I open up The Onion, the breaking news joke on The Onion isn't a joke. Conservatives explain why the U.S. should invade Mexico. They think that. They talked about it openly in the GOP debate. What the fuck? Oh, but I guess they've got some good answers. Well, here you go. Candace Thomas, graphic designer. Why be the most powerful nation in the world if you're not going to abuse it? Dylan Weinrib, electrician. What other choice do we have outside of investing in our own people? Rory Lamont says, we must do it for our closest ally, the Spanish Empire.
The Spanish Empire.
Sharon Keats, HR manager and Republican, says, There just isn't enough blood of innocence in the streets when I go visit my timeshare. I hear they're hoarding all the best fentanyl for themselves, says Helen Thurman, a hairstylist. Or here's a good reason for the U.S. to invade Mexico from Stan Gargano, Little League baseball coach. I ate an enchilada and it gave me heartburn. Yeah.
So we should
or this
invade.
last one here. When a country is your main trading partner, invading it is just common sense. Okay. All right.
Yeah, exactly. Next up, Canada.
Yeah, really. Okay, I love you. Shout out to Aaron Brown.
I love you. And I love
Shout
Aaron
out to
Brown.
everybody. Hi, Windy.
To everybody.
Everybody. Shot.
Feel the grave and oh. Feel the beat and move your body.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah.
I gotta go.
I know.
All right. Love
Okay,
you,
love
bye.
you. Okay, love you. Bye.